It's time for your Married at First Sight New Zealand Episode 9 update. Hard to believe the couples are finishing their second week together. Seems like much longer. We're on to day 4 of their living phase in the apartments. People are making grocery lists, etc., that kind of thing. Dom and Claire. Claire returns from the hospital. She checks out the apartment. Experts say Claire's absence will put a strain on their relationship. They've been apart 5 days out of the 12 that they've actually been married. Claire's irritated at Dom's disorganization. Claire likes organization. She likes things to be tidy. You know, she's just irritated. On to Belle and Hayden. Belle cries again over the messaging miscommunication. She reminds Hayden she needs 3 cups of coffee before she can be spoken to in the morning. They decide they'll cook together that night. Experts say they have to work on their issues. Angel and Brett. Angel says she feels like they've been together a year, but in a good way. They still have that spark from their first meeting, and the experts say they need to learn to live day-to-day life and see if they can keep their spark. Brett has been a type 1 diabetic for most of his life, and he checks his blood glucose, and then they do her, and she learns about what he has to do on his for his daily life as far as being a diabetic. On to Aaron and Ben. Ben says he likes Aaron more than he did a week ago, which is weird because he doesn't act like it. Aaron says he knows Ben wouldn't move to Christchurch, but he's willing to move to Auckland. Aaron needs to finish his studies, but he needs Ben to think about all that. Vicky and Andrew. Andrew wants to do things with just Vicky because he wants to bond. He wants to get to know her. Yet she thinks they need time apart because, you know, if she doesn't get enough time away from anybody, she gets grumpy. So, yeah, she says he's making it like she doesn't want to spend time with him. And he's right. To be honest, she really doesn't. They go to an emergency counseling session with Tony. Vicky misinterprets all the information that she's given. She pulls for more space. Tony tries to reason with him. He suggests listing 3 good things about each other. We hear Vicky mumble a bit. Oh, he's positive. Mumble, mumble, blah, blah, mumble, mumble. Poor Andrew. He's still disillusioned, thinking that they're going in the right direction. Claire decides to stay at her own flat. Dom sends an accidental text to Claire, thinking it was his mate. Yeah, he was upset over things, and, you know, as you do, you want to go vent to your friend. That's just unfortunate that he sent his text to Claire. Oh, no. So, he was whinging about that, as you do, and the fact that Claire had to fly to Napier for a funeral, and just all kinds of stressful things, whatever. I think Dom just, he hit a wall. And yeah, so they have another emergency meeting. This one is for Claire and Dom. Claire decided they're done. She's packed and ready. Dom respects her choice. She says they aren't each other's type. And he says he wanted to see it through, but understands completely. She said a weight has been lifted from her shoulders. Dom's sad, but he says it was to be, and he will forever be regretful. So there's the end of them. Belle hangs out with Ben and Aaron. She says Hayden took his things and left. They gossip about Hayden. She's saying her side. Then we finally hear Hayden headed home. He says it's like walking on eggshells, as she is anytime she says anything, or he says anything she doesn't like, or she takes it the wrong way, she then threatens to leave, and so he's taking a time out. Yeah, I just wish they'd ended already because it's just quite painful. It's just painful to watch. Experts give them special surrender dates to allow them to learn to trust in their partners. For Vicky and Andrew, Vicky's making all the choices. They started a salon, apparently getting his hair cut, which is the one thing he didn't want to do. First time in a year, he says. He seems nervous. She's just basically sitting there watching him, drinking her cuppa, and he hates it. Now, mind, he does look good, but he hates it. And I want to say, dude, it's just hair. It'll grow. Even my husband's like, oh, he's kind of overreacting about this. And she whinges some more. He's mad. Vicky says he's always the victim. Yet, hello, pot, this is kettle. Anyway, Ben and Aaron. Aaron is calling the shots. They go canyoning. Tony says this experiment is full of strong-willed, confident people, which I believe is just counselors speak for these people are assholes. But he says it in that way. if those people can't compromise and be conscientious of their partner's needs, then things are never going to work. Erin is hopeful Ben will like their experience that they go doing the canyoning, which looks amazing. Ben seemed to endure it, and he seemed pleasantly happy. Yay, I guess. Later, over hot chips, they try to talk. Ben seems grumpy. He hates PDA, yada yada. He's not attracted to Erin. Erin feels it's a stalemate. Ben tells Erin that Erin needs to take a step back. Erin says he has 4 more weeks to decide if he's going to pack up and change his life for Ben. So, he's trying to figure this out. Belle then says Hayden hasn't returned. She claims she wants to see it through, but yeah, I don't see that happening. Brett and Angel. Angel gets him a Prezi. She gets she gets Brett some crazy red socks, which seems to be his thing. He loves his crazy socks. Andrew sets about cooking. We're not sure why. Vicky's at Ben and Erin's gossiping, as she likes to do. He says he's done trying. More gossiping. Vicky says relationships should be easy. If too hard, they shouldn't be in it, which is just weird. Poor Erin is trying to be the devil's advocate, trying to be fair about it. But no, Ben and Vicky are just 2 peas in a pod. And Erin says that they're more of a couple than he and Ben are, which, yeah, well, they are 2 peas in a pod, mate. They really are, and that is why New Zealand hates them the most. So don't worry about it, Erin, because we love you. Yeah, Erin says Ben never came home again last night. Yeah, this is the next morning. And now, mind you, Ben has done this before. Erin messaged him. He waited 6 hours to hear anything from him. Ben finally comes home, accompanied by Vicky. Erin says he is at his wit's end, and he said last night his not coming home or just texting him back was last straw. And that's because Ben is an inconsiderate asshole, Erin. That's why. You haven't figured that out yet? It's true. Ben is being evasive and a dick, according to my husband. Erin feels he's getting nothing in return for all he's doing to try. Ben says he's going home because Erin's pissed him off. Well, then that just kind of set about a little argument. Erin asks him, what do you want from this? And he's genuine. He just wants to know. Ben, of course, is a dick and snaps at him. Erin says, you just walked off last night without a word. And Erin says, you got to be conscious of that. Ben doesn't even want to communicate. He just, he's done. That's it. And Erin's like, I like it again. He's like, I got 4 weeks to decide if I'm changing my whole life, and that's why he wants to spend time with him, so to see if it's going to work. And Erin, it isn't you, hun. It's him. It's him. It isn't unreasonable to expect your spouse to communicate with you. That's just common courtesy. You would do it for a friend, wouldn't you? If you were going to leave, you would say to your friend, I'm going to head out, or text them and say, hey, I'm heading out, or whatever. But I'm just saying, there you go. This is the kind of people you're dealing with. Well, anyway, next time we are going to have home visits, and I'm really curious to see what happens with some of these people on these home visits. I don't even know how many are even going to make it. Now, we get a glimpse that Ben is going to go home with Erin, and I hope it's a miserable time for him, because I want Erin's friends to just grill him. I really do. Yeah, so there you go. That is it for our episode 9, Married at First Sight New Zealand update. We'll see you next time for the home visits. Cheap.